Welcome back. We're here at the Museum of Appalachia with Gayle Greene at the Mark Twain cabin. We shot a show here. Tell the folks what we did.
Well, the show was daytime courting, and it was about a boy that was coming to go on a date with my daughter.
Yeah.
And in this scene, I was sweeping on the porch, and I look across the field and see the young boy coming, and I think he had traveled quite a ways.
Yeah, about 5 miles, and it was hot, warm, and everything was green.
It was different than it is today.
Yeah, and we had to get you to play a older mountain lady with no makeup.
Right.
Was that a stretch?
It was.
Yeah.
Well, not really necessarily a stretch, but
Well,
it was different for me. But it was kind of interesting, though, once, I got past the fact that, I couldn't even get powder past you. You noticed that I had a little powder on. It was just kind of neat not to have to worry about that and just be the character.
Yeah, and the story was about a boy that wanted to have a date with your daughter.
That's right.
And his biggest dreams kind of come true.
They do.
I dreaded it. I didn't know how to court. I didn't know what courting was. I wasn't used to such, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I sweat would roll off of me when I went in the heat of the day.
Connie Bowling, now of Oak Ridge, grew up in Flat Gap, Virginia. This is a true story of his first experience with daytime courting, and it was a memorable one. He said he'd done a little nighttime courting, but courting in the daytime was a different thing entirely.
You darn right it's different. When I was courting, you dreaded to get there.
Were you worried about her brothers?
Oh, yeah. You didn't do much courting while they was around. You couldn't. One time I walked to see Sal, it was in the summertime. And I had to walk about 3 miles across the hills and mountains. So I got up on the hill and went down into this green field of corn. And when I got up to the side of the house, here come Ma. She had a broom. And she came out of the house, out of the yard. She come toward me with a broom, and I thought she was going to hit me with a broom.
What's the matter with you? You have a long walk?
But she didn't.
I bet you're thirsty.
She was good to me.
I know you're hot. All right. Sal will be down in a minute. She's upstairs.
And I heard the puncheons, There's loose boards up in the attic. I heard them rattling, and I looked up. Sal's mother said, "Oh, that's Sal up there."
She's pressing up a little bit.
And Ma said, "I have to take her shoes up to her."
A little bit. Got to take her shoes to her.
She had to climb a wall. It wasn't a ladder. And she went up that, climbing up.
Here's your shoes, Sal.
And just as she got up there, I heard the punches rattle real hard. And here came Sal down in the floor. And all she had was a makeshift brassiere, just a rag tied around her. That's all she had. And she took right out the door and started running, and I started running right after her mother and looking at her. And she ran right down the path till she got to the corn. Well, she just took right off in between a row of corn. Oh, she could run fast, and we were trotting too. But we couldn't catch her. But when we got there, she was about 50 feet down that corn road. And my mother said, "Change road, Sal!"
Change road, Sal!
So Sal jumped out into the field, and we couldn't see her anymore. Then I went home. That was a great adventure, I tell you.
That one cabin you saw, it was really 3 at least. the board she fell through, we got a shot of the punching boards
Right.
in that cabin.
And I think you were actually rattling those boards.
Yeah.
And then that cabin was where I actually climbed the little ladder that comes out of the wall to hand her
climbing up,
shoes.
climbing up.
Right.
And this was where she hit the floor.
That's right.
And where you all shot, we shot the scene of you all.
That's right, where I give him the cup of water and he's sitting there acting nervous and we hear the sound up above.
And how many times did you all run out of there?
Oh, boy, I don't know, maybe 10?
The camera's up here and then Doug was down there. And
Right.
then he had you all run through there. What happened at the end
We
of that?
ran as far as we could, and as we got to the end of that, we looked out across the field, and there were 3 peacocks chasing each other, just like we had just finished doing.
Oh, and we had to, we shot the running through the corn in Wallen behind
Right.
Heritage High School, and Doug had to run backwards, didn't he?
Through the straight back, because he couldn't go either, side to side, or he'd be running through the corn. So straight back, and we were coming at him pretty fast. Kelly, the little girl, could run fast, and we had a hard time keeping up with her.
And we had like a tan suit on,
Right.
running suit. Anyway.
So she didn't look like she had any clothes on.